Finally, a very exciting moment has arrived that I've been waiting on now for, I guess, about 3 years, maybe even more. Something that my team and I have been working on for a long time has arrived. After the events of 2015, we decided to move things overseas. And since then, we've been secretly working with, well, many different great passionate enthusiasts on many different things, and something very personal, this project that has been for me a father and son experience. It was the first thing that I started working on right after the events of 2015, so I guess, even though I'm not a very emotional person, it's kind of an emotional thing for me, but just due to how personal it is very much from the heart. People will eventually start to recognize that Element 6, more than anything else for us, is an engineering exercise. So it doesn't really come down to personal taste and all of that. It is about the materials, it is about the manufacturing techniques, it's about the skill and knowledge. I don't know how I'm going to react to this really after all of these years of working on something and finally receiving it. I don't know, I have no idea how I'm going to react, guys. So here it is. I can't believe this. I'm actually looking at real carbon fiber. I don't think I've ever seen real carbon fiber in person. I mean, I've probably seen it in like golf clubs and small bits and pieces of it here and there, but nothing of this kind of scale. Not that I actually play golf. I don't do anything but build PCs, guys. Touching this is like touching, I don't know, diamond or titanium or something. This material just has such a reputation, and no wonder. If you guys only knew what it has taken to create this thing, and that's what you're going to see in the development, the incredible effort behind this. But there it is, and it's about the size that I remember. It's quite large. It's actually, overall the volume is similar to one of the large Case Labs cases, but it's a bit smaller on the smaller side. It's just that the length dimension is a bit longer than anything else out there by probably a couple of 100 millimeters, but then it makes up for it in the height. It's a lot lower, and that's why, it's wall mountable, but none of this is obviously designed to be practical or functional or anything like that. This is an engineering exercise, and it's an art piece. It's something that, well, even if it's not an art piece to you, even if it's not about what it looks like, the shape is actually an abstract hybrid of basically all of the supercars or hypercars put together. And the initial shape was so abstract that it just looked like a spacecraft, or who knows what it actually looked like. But once the windows were added and the grills, then it starts to look a little bit more like an abstract hypercar. But if you actually look at the shape and try to compare it to any hypercar, you will find that it has no similarities whatsoever to any hypercar at all. It doesn't have a single feature of another hypercar. It's an abstract. So it's pulling tiny bits from here and there and trying to overall create that kind of essence. So anyway, I need to get this thing out of the box. The finish is just incredible. This has no orange peel because this is straight out of the mold. This is not even clear coated. This is not painted. This is how it comes out of the mold. And when we perfect our mold, or this process, this resin infusion process that we're doing with the molds, and you're going to see all of this during the development, the development series, which will run on the YouTube channel for nearly a year, the whole surface will be perfect high gloss, and then we'll give it a bit of a buff and wax it, and it will be just this perfect deep mirror finish because there's no orange peel from spraying, and you can't avoid orange peel. Doesn't matter how much of a good painter you are, it's always going to be there. Now this shell wasn't actually our best shell. It was only, I think, shell prototype number 2. Shell prototype number 3 is a lot better than this, but I can't remember what happened, but James had to keep that one for some reason, and we had to use shell prototype 2 for the build log. So yeah, for those of you who haven't been following closely, this has come all the way from America. And James Passmore is the Singularity Computers design engineer who is responsible for designing and building this case, and he will also be responsible for the mass production and manufacturing. And we've worked on many other different projects together that you will see, in the near future as well. But it's his incredible work that you see here. He has a background in, engineering. He's a machinist. He has worked on particle accelerators. He's built carbon fiber parts for particle accelerators, military aircraft, cars, 20 years of experience in the industry, and he is just an absolute master with CAD and design. He is incredible. He can whip up a model in just no time at all, but he has put thousands upon thousands of hours into this case so far, just to make the first one. He saw the original shape, and he just had to be a part of it. Once he saw that shape, he knew that it was going to be carbon fiber. He just couldn't resist, and he started trying to help out in the YouTube comments. I mean, this is the amazing thing about technology. The opportunities that we have these days, thanks to technology, the internet, we can run companies across the globe. We only have, in Australia, up until a few months ago, it was just me. Anyway, I just can't believe that we've actually reached this point, because when we first started this project, it just seemed so impossible. Without James, this never would have happened. I mean, we would have just gone to person after person who would have just failed, and the first few people that we went to made a huge amount of errors. They knocked over our plug with their forklift, and we had to rebuild the whole plug, and then they ruined it a second time as well, and then the third time, when they actually removed the mold from it, they completely ruined it. But that's kind of meant to happen. But seeing that plug get ruined 3 times was not easy. But it's just been an amazing experience, and this is always what I've wanted to turn my channel into. I have always wanted to do product development, but I don't want to do it on my own, guys. I want to share all of this with you, and this channel is about my life. So I know there's people that are just here for entertainment, and they kind of just get sick of the whole me talking about personal stuff. But for me, this is very personal, and I want to be honest, and I want to share my experience with you. So, if you're not like-minded, if this is not your thing, then I suggest, you just leave, because what we want to do here is together develop products. I wanted to start with something that is like a pledge from Singularity Computers to show people that we are willing to take a huge risk on something incredibly different, and just almost to the point of being, it had to be shocking. It had to show people that we have the courage to step outside of the box and to do something really, really different.